Subconscious. I'm Shel Marie here. So what we are discussing today are the types of personalities that come see me for kinesiology, and I absolutely adore working with these three types. So before we get started, we always pull a card, and you know that. So for today's episode, our card is I trust myself above all else. And I absolutely believe this is what everyone needs to hear and remind themselves of. But more specifically, these three types of personalities, this is probably the fundamental link that they are developing. I trust myself above all else, meaning that we don't put other people's opinions or expectations on us above our own anymore. That is the change and the chop up that my clients are experiencing. The more we work together, the more they stop self-abandoning and ask, what is it that I need in this moment, and who do I need to be to make my life exactly how I choose it? Who do I need to be to make my dreams come true? Who do I need to be to make sure I'm living for myself and feeling like every day is anew and I'm not merely just existing? So I'm really excited to chat to you today. So the three type of personalities that come and see me, I've categorized them. Obviously, there's a lot of people that fall out of the scope, but then also not, because there are definite patterns that I see. I'm a pattern finder. I will find the patterns between clients. I'll understand why they were drawn to me, and we had this electrical, energetic pull towards one another, because there is something that I have got similar to them on some degree, whether it's something that I have had and evolved from. And that's not saying that I'm better by any means, but there's that same type of coding that was a similarity to what they're experiencing that I, through this work and through the work of spirituality and self-development and energetic healing, were able to neutralize, and therefore their soul is seeking that same remedy. So it's like, I see what you are coming for, and I'm all for it. Let's go. So no particular order, but I am going to start with the order actually, because I'm like, this is the first one that I feel like I get, and I love working with this type of personality. This is the high achiever running on empty. And we know all of these women, we know all of these guys. It's like, I've got to keep going. I've got to make sure that I am achieving. I got to make sure that I am accomplishing. Everything is dials back down to, I identify with the productivity and the success and the accolades that I am used to achieving in order to gain significance or love. So this particular client, she's a high achiever. I'm going to say she, but I do have men that are like this, but typically I have more females. The high achiever running on empty, she is covering it all. She has a career. She's a powerhouse in her career. Equally at home, she has got every system in place. She's got it run like a well-oiled ship, but she also feels that at any given moment that this ship would to take a turn, or if there's something that would, if she's slowed down by any means, holy moly, then everything would crumble. And that's just not an option for her. So she is the one that does it all, always moving, always makes it happen. She is always in control. She overthinks. Her mind is never stopping. She feels betrayed by her body when her body's just like, I can't take this 24/7 anymore. So it shows up in injury. It shows up in what a lot of people identify with ADHD type of symptoms, and she starts to feel like she's premenopausal. She'll start to feel like she's got anxiety. She's like, I don't know, I've got nothing to be anxious about. And she's trying to intellectualize the symptoms, but she doesn't realize that she's not a robot. As much as she logically knows that, she's operating as one. And so the moment her body starts to give way in a form of injury, exhaustion, in digestive issues, in anxiety, in sleep deprivation, she's just like, we can't stop though. So get it together. Let's keep going. And she pushes herself, and slowing down is just too risky for her. And it's sad because she is really putting herself through the grill moment to moment, running on empty, but she doesn't ask for help. Or if she does, no, she'll never ask for help actually. She would like someone to put their hand up to help, but it has to be in the way that she likes it. because she doesn't have she does have the capability. She doesn't have the bandwidth to be able to have something different to how she's run it all the time. So this is incredible. I love working with females or males like this personality type, because they come in and they lay down and they want to receive the help and they can feel the symptoms, and then, they will present with the symptoms, and then they can start to sense a bit of vulnerability coming through, or a bit of something that comes out of the scope of their logical mind. And then be like, oh, but maybe it's just because I, hadn't slept that day, or maybe because, I had a bit of gluten that day, and they will justify it. Look, they probably are contributors for sure. But the essence of it is to drop down into those fields of consciousness and awareness where she softens, where she becomes vulnerable, and she starts to feel her emotions. Her logical mind is like, this isn't what we do. This isn't how we, I've already identified this as a weakness. We don't do that. So let's just I'm going to throw you a logical explanation, and then we continue on. And so these are emotions that get stuck in her body, and these are emotions that don't get to be expressed. And then this is where conditions start to form. And then they take a logical approach to that. Well, my body randomly just got this injury, so I'm going to have to just cut it out, or just take that tablet because, it doesn't make sense but she's lost so much contact with a real true essence within herself of who she is, giving herself some rest, acknowledging that she is not loved only from what she achieves. And when these women come to me, they're in that state and they want to just feel good. They want to just feel safe. She wants to feel that support. She wants to know that she's doing enough and she's done enough and she is enough. And when we build those energetic structures within her to then start to feel safe to go in and follow the chain of symptoms and stress, and how she's compensated them with being a high achiever and which also results in being highly strung. The vulnerability catches her by surprise. She doesn't know how safe she feels, but then she allows and she lets softness in, and she takes the load off and loosens the grip on everything. She starts to show compassion for herself and her family and the people closest to her, because obviously they're the ones that will cop the brunt of when she is at that capacity. And then she starts to come home to herself and trust that it doesn't need to just be how she does it. And the things that she used to sweat balls on, it's not a need anymore. She doesn't give it that energy anymore, because she's so aware that that is not benefiting her. And I love it when we get to those points with this personality type, because it's a true sense of them getting to come home to themselves. And then she softens, and then she gets support in. Her partners and her kids get a softer version, and they get to help her out. And then it becomes this exchange of energy. Everyone starts to harmonize. It is such a beautiful thing to witness when someone who has been so exteriorly tough allows the trust in softness, which then really ultimately means that she trusts in herself and life. So I love working with that type of client. The next type of client I work with, and I love working with them, is not always someone that it's not expected, because a lot of my clients are female, but because, and they all tie in, right? So we have that hardworking, high achieving, running on empty, who's generally the one that's running the household. And she persuasively encourages her partner or husband or father of her kids to seek this help. And I've worked with so many families. I work with the dad, I work with the kids, I work with the brother, I work with the cousin. I work with them all. And so I get these men in, and I've called them the devoted anchor. Hello, lovely listeners. Our Total Life Transformation Program is live. If you feel stuck in your health, career, relationships, or money, this is the chance for a complete revamp. Over 6 months, you'll experience powerful changes that will transform every part of your life. With the guidance of 5 specialists, so yours truly, a kinesiologist, money mentor, functional health practitioner, career advisor, and our relationship coach, we address 4 key life pillars: your health, your career, your money, and your relationships. One investment shifts you from feeling low-key unfulfilled to fully energized and inspired in every area of your life. Health. If stress, emotional baggage, or unhealthy habits drain you, we will help release what's in your subconscious and create a personalized nutrition and supplement plan to reset your energy and health. Career. If you feel lost or stuck in your career, our kinesiologist and career mentor provide clarity, confidence, and an action plan to move forward with purpose. Money. If scarcity or fear around money keeps you stuck, we heal your financial blueprint. With our money mentor, you will gain practical strategies to confidently manage your finances for life. And relationships. If disconnection in your relationships leave you feeling unseen, we heal emotional wounds, leading to deeper connection, trust, and love. Now it's time to create your extraordinary life. So book your clarity call now for our Total Life Transformation Program, because it is live and waiting for you. So does he want to be there necessarily? No. Does he want to? He's just like, shit, my wife has signed me up to this and I'm just going with it. I've heard good things, but I can't keep reacting the way that I am. I feel terrible for my family. I want to change this for them. My missus is cracking it at me and I know she is at her end. So I don't want the worst case scenario of this. I want to feel better in myself. I know that's in there. I've become a different person over the years and I don't know how to get back to the person that I was. And I love them. So he comes in skeptical. He's, challenging this work, not challenging, but he's unsure of the work. They're actually quite open in a sense. He then starts to what they love is that they don't have to talk. And they're just like, well, cool. I don't really want to talk about my feelings. And so that's great. We don't talk about their feelings. We let the body do the talking. And then I'll probe them with some questions that they're like, how do you know that? It's like, your body told me. Your body guided us there. And then he allows. And then he surrenders. And then all of a sudden it's coming out of his mouth. He's verbalizing it. He's feeling it. He's just like, oh, that makes sense. He's allowing something that is so out of his scope of the norm to be something that he's willingly leaning into, because he can sense and feel the results instantaneous. He's getting these epiphanies. And what beautiful thing with men is when they know and when it gives them a sense of empowerment, they're like, yes, this is how I'm supposed to feel. The man wants to feel powerful, and the female, but the man wants to feel powerful. He wants to be like, yes, I've cleared whatever that thing was. There's a solution. We found the solution and now I get to move forward. And they love it. And so they become my most staunch advocates of this work. They feel the tension release. They hit me up and they're like, I'm not reacting the way that I did. Like, that thing. And then they start to be like, all right, there's the compassion in their family. And then they have this stronger sense of self, which is able to support the feminine in her beautiful fluctuations of feelings. And because he's got a sturdy foundation within himself, he can support that. And not only does he want to support that, he loves supporting that because he knows he can hold it. And what does a man generally want to do for his loved ones is to provide and to protect and to be that person that they can rely on. And so I have the dads come in and they do that for their wives, but ultimately they love who they become. They love the confidence that they have. They love the decisions that they're making. They love the actions that they're taking. They love the response that they're getting from their loved ones. They love the boundaries that they're able to hold. They give no F's about if someone's not on board with how they're choosing to hold their boundaries or the level of respect and quality in their lives. They're like, all right, well, later, like, I'm not sweating it. I'm feeling good. This is my time to protect my family and what's right for us. And it is the most profound thing to witness, that I love seeing the man come back into a space of confidence within themselves, and that providership, and mostly the leader of his family. And it never gets old. It never gets old where they're just like, it probably takes about like 4 sessions. And like, I thought this was a load of shit. And I'm like, I get it. We all did. Like, I'm not trying to make out that I didn't question this 1,001 times. I had a brain that would be like, don't bullshit me. I can sniff out bullshit. But when you feel it and then the truth hits, and when you, like, nothing can describe when your own truth hits you. When you start telling you what you know deep down, but you've blocked from hearing it, it's just like, it's a connectivity, and you connect deeper to yourself, and you gain that understanding, and you then gain the confidence. And then that confident, more truer version of you presents in the world, and then the world responds. That's how we all get drawn to this work and the truth of it. The next and the last type of client that I love working with, she makes me want to squeeze her a heap, but it's actually mostly females. The selfless seeker. So she gives and gives and gives, and she's got the biggest heart, but she puts everyone else first, and she doesn't value herself as much. And she has lost that connection to her own boundaries. She's lost her connection, if she even had them. She lost the connection to what her verbalizing and really standing in her power of what she wants, because she has always been the self-abandoner and the people pleaser and the one that's so, accommodating. And she is ready for love. Most of the women that I come see, they're so soft on the inside, whether or not, and you know what? The selfless seeker sometimes gets presented in the overachiever, the high achiever that's running on empty. Sometimes they're the same person. They have these two sides of them, but she wants to be in a relationship. She wants to be able to find her partner. She's just like, what am I doing? I'm obviously sabotaging myself in some degree. I don't feel worthy enough, or because hasn't come to me. This relationship hasn't come to me. And she falls in love with the potential of a person, but she doesn't allow herself to hold the boundaries in what's presented in front of her, which could be a different version to the potential that she can see. They're empaths. She can sense what they need, even though she doesn't really know what she needs. And then she overgives on some degree, wanting to change this person or rescue this person to therefore receive that connection and love that she wants. And it's a beautiful, I think we've been so told this love story though. We've been so accustomed to this love story. Like, it's a beautiful thing, and there is beauty under it. But when this woman comes to me, and these are I'm going to say symptoms that she experiences, when we start to let her cry the things that was never safe to express, for her to gain the awareness as to why she thought she had to morph into these different personas to make sure everyone else was happy, why she was the parent of maybe 1 or 2 parents that had more childlike behaviors. When she starts to really heal those areas of herself, there's a vibrancy that comes back. There's a little bit of a sass that comes through. There's a little bit of like, all right, I see myself. And there's people that respond in that way. She gets to trust in the people that come into her world, whether it's for a short time, a long time, for a reason. She begins to trust. And it doesn't mean, when you begin to trust, it doesn't mean that you don't feel those moments of, disappointment or sadness, that connection evolved in a way that she was hoping it wouldn't. But down to the core, she can get back to that center a little bit more quicker because she trusts in herself and the journey that she's on. She trusts in allowing the love to find her, and knows that this journey of this person or this experience is in service of this connection that she's calling in. So she can feel the feels of that sadness, let them be expressed, doesn't identify her worth to it, sets it free, and leaves her heart still be so open to keep receiving and love who she is and not abandoning herself as she's exploring these new connections. You know, there's someone that's in a long-term relationship now. She was calling that in. There was another one who was quite tough in her exterior, but soft on the inside and wanted to be in a relationship and found these people that she always wanted to help. And now she is like, you see her face and she's like got this softness to her. And it is just a really beautiful space to see. And when she comes home to herself and she stands true in who she is, it is beautiful to witness. So these are the 3 types of personalities that I've got a lot of clients that kind of fall in. So if you're a client listening to this, have a little guess of which one you might be and give me a DM. But I would love if you identify with one of these. And look, even if you don't, it doesn't mean that you can't come see me. If you feel that through these lines of personalities that there's similarities or something that's calling you to reach out, please reach out, because that curiosity is there for a reason. There is a reason why you've jumped on this podcast episode. There's a reason why you're curious about kinesiology. Just follow the curiosity. That's all we say. So thank you for your time today. Let me know your thoughts on this episode. I would love to see if you are any one of these personalities. Let me know. If you are interested in the work that we do, what is kinesiology? How can it help you? Just DM Keen, Keen, and then we can get on a call, obligation free, and we can just chat with where you're at and how we can help, because your body knows. That's the bottom line. Your body knows the symptoms that you're experiencing, the realities that you're living in, all of it goes through your subconscious. All of it stems in your body. Your body has the answer, and it can get beyond the constructs of your mind, and we can start to rewrite your life in the way that you desire. So thank you for listening. Until next time, live life liberated.
Audience exclusive.